Well, hello again. This is Robert Schein, Managing Director and Partner of Blanke Schein Wealth Management. Well, welcome to September 1st, 2020. You officially made it, and so did we, right? This has been a crazy year. And if you've been following along, we appreciate it. Like and subscribe, share with friends and family. We really appreciate that. We've already cracked over 1,000 subscribers. So this year has been very popular since March, since we started our daily updates, and we couldn't have done it without you. So we know that you're watching, and we're constantly getting feedback and updates as to things and topics you'd like for me to address on a daily update. Today, we're going to talk about recapping August, looking at September, and going forward, and more importantly, the third quarter GDP. So we've got a lot of headlines that are moving the markets, so let's get right down to it today, and thanks for watching. So we made it to September, now what? What do we do on a go-forward basis? Well, one of the key things that we want to keep our eye on is the election for 2020. And again, I invite you to join us on September 16th for our election edition. So be sure to register for that. We'd love to have you. But as we look at September, and a go-forward basis, we also could take perspective from August. August was very strong, one of the best months in over 35 years, if you will, as it relates to historical performance in the markets. But then we take the market itself and put it in three different buckets, right? The stay-at-home, the reopening bucket, and then also the sort of the airlines, the cruise ships, and the casinos, the travel and leisure bucket. So let's look at the stay-at-home bucket. How did that perform? Well, in the month of August, that basket was up 9%. That's a great return, especially for just 1 month. If you look at the reopening stocks, that was up 16%. So think about places you can go that are going to reopen again. Think about movie theaters and a few others in that bucket. And so if you look at the travel and leisure stocks, so the airlines, the cruise ships, and the casinos, how do you think that did for the month of August? I'll give you a second to think about it. That was up over 20%, 23% for just 1 month. What does that mean? That actually means that the economy is reopening. And more importantly, markets are looking through, saying we're going to get not only through COVID, but as we reopen, we're going to not only live with it, COVID, if you will, but also the economy itself will come back to life, as was evidence in terms of life in airline stocks and cruise stocks and even casinos. And I can't believe personally that casinos are open, because I have my 4 children at home right now online, and they're not allowed to be in school because state of California won't allow them to be in school. But yet we can go to a casino every single day, and there's no COVID in a casino, but there's COVID in a school. So somebody answer me that question. Sorry, as a dad and a father, I'm kind of confused and perplexed by all of the left and right sort of rationale as to what's going on as relates to COVID. And there's a lot of unanswered questions. I get that. But that's why we pay attention to the markets. Markets know something we don't. So let's pay attention and let's position accordingly. And so on a go-forward basis, let's talk about the 10 reasons why markets are up year to date. So the 10 reasons why markets are up year to date, I wrote them here. Sorry for my scribble and chicken scratch, but I'll walk you through them so you don't have to worry about it too much. The first one is mobile data. In your cell phones, there's mobile devices, and some of these big tech companies are watching every move you make, like it or not. And what they're doing is on a daily basis, it's public information. We have access to it as well. And that's what we've been following, high frequency data. As we said, even in March, April, and May, when the news outlets said that no one's reopening and everyone's staying home. Well, your mobile device said something different. In fact, it's increasing. People are moving. You can see people moving, again, with PPE, your mask, your social distancing. But again, that's reopening the economy again. That's what the markets are paying attention to. This real-time empirical evidence data that really matters as it relates to the U.S. economy. Number 2 is the jobless claims are coming down. We're watching that on a daily basis or weekly basis, if you will. Number 3, I talked about this, travel data. Travel data increasing, again, high frequency data, can talk about TSA. That's increasing. So people are on planes again and traveling. The equity market knows that COVID-19 volatility is down. Again, if we see a COVID headline in the news and it's really super negative, markets next day still go up. They have discounted, they've already factored in the COVID effect on the market as it relates to the economy, and ultimately they know that number 5 is the most important. In fact, there was a huge article in the Wall Street Journal last week, and it talked about there's a lot of academic evidence against a full lockdown. The article really said that we used a blunt force to ultimately kill this thing, and ultimately we probably academically speaking, scientifically speaking, especially not just the United States, but looking at other countries around the world and how their medical industries and communities have dealt with COVID. This won't happen again. That's what the market sees and cares about. We can debate it, right, wrong, indifferent. That's for another conversation. Markets care about, will we have a full lockdown again? And the answer and the evidence is no. That's a positive for the equity markets. Number 3, progress on vaccine and therapeutics. We're getting that on a daily basis. Again, not just controlled by the United States and our pharmaceutical companies and just the United States. It's around the world, as I said. So around the world, globally speaking, we have a coordinated effort on the scientific community coming together. And that's a huge positive. Again, another reason why markets are up year to date. And another one, number 7 is let me see if I can read my writing. Behaviors and mindset, right? We are wearing masks now. We are social distancing. Stores all over the place won't let you in unless you have a mask on. Wonderful. That's great. Then that means that the economy can remain open and people can go out of their houses and do what they need to do in terms of commerce. Number 8, cheap and fast testing. As the evidence says, the NBA brought in I believe it was a Yale test, if I'm not mistaken, but long story short, it's a saliva test, it's real time, and you could be on your way. We need more of that. Markets are seeing that we're going to get more evidence of that as the medical community catches up and makes that more prevalent. Number 9, Congress is closer to CARES 2.0 Act. This is possibly a story that may or may not play out. Again, I have my personal doubts about Congress actually being motivated to make this happen. As unemployment benefits expire, and we're seeing that happen, small businesses and those that are unemployment need that extension, and that needs to happen. But we'll see if this plays out. But markets are betting that it will at some point in time, whether it's a skinny bill, a big bill, who knows. But that's what markets care about. I have my skepticism, of course. And then number 10, it's small here, but it's a big deal. And I've talked about it just about every time. It's the Federal Reserve. Don't fight the Fed, because the trillions of dollars that are backstopping the market are ultimately at play. But a lot of unknowns going forward as it relates to the election. And so that's going to provide us some volatility. But right now, these are 10 reasons why, if you were to ask me, a lot of clients have been asking why markets are up year to date. It just doesn't make any sense. And hopefully I've shed some light on that for you. And thanks for watching today. So tune in next time. If you have any questions or you have any topics you'd like me to discuss, let me send it in and we're happy to address it for you. The last topic today is the consensus third quarter GDP. I'm going to continue to talk more about this, but ultimately Wall Street is raising their guidance, meaning they thought the third quarter GDP, which we're in right now, and it's going to be reported October 29th, so right before the election, this quarter's GDP is going to be up about 20%. Now they're going to say it's up about 25%. If that's the case, that could be the largest ever expansion for one quarter GDP in U.S. history. But we're going to see it. This is a lot of empirical evidence as to why we could have a strong third quarter GDP. But this is a story that's going to continue to evolve. So let's keep watching. Thank you for watching today. Stay tuned for next time, and stay healthy, stay safe, and take care.